Hi everyone, Queeveen here from the comfort of my kitchen. Having taken a look at Mars at opposition and how Mars enters into a strange, temporary, apparent retrograde motion during that time, we are going to take a look at some of the other planets and how they also go through a sort of strange retrograde motion when they're at opposition, potentially also the Earth. But first, I want to take a look at the evening sky here. We're already looking a little bit into the future. We've got Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. We can see Saturn and Venus there being really close together, which of course looks very nice. If we get rid of the atmosphere, rather than heading out to the countryside, just to show that Uranus is there. And if we take a closer look, there's Neptune. You know, over the next couple of days, Venus will be passing right past Neptune, just like it passed past Saturn. And of course, that looks great. That's lovely. That's 6 planets: Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn. 6 planets all in the sky together. I'm not going to say that that's not cool. I'm not going to say that that's not a significant number of planets to see all at the same time. But here, just a month away, just 30 days, not even 30 days from the example I gave. There we go. Here we have 7 planets in the sky: Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Venus. Neptune's still out there somewhere. Let's take a closer look and just see. Should be in between Venus and Saturn pretty much. There we go, almost exactly. There's Neptune, Saturn, Mercury. Let's get Mercury a little bit lower. We'll bring the sun down a little bit and we'll turn back on that atmosphere. We definitely can see Mercury there. We'll head out to the countryside just to see if Saturn shines through. There we go. Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, all 7 of them. If you just wait a month, there are various news sources that are widely considered to be trustworthy, saying that the parade of planets is peaking here on the 17th to the 20th, when we have Mars or Venus and Saturn so close together. This isn't even the full parade of planets. I don't like the term parade of planets very much, but if you're going to make a big deal out of the parade of planets, make a big deal out of all 7 of them being in the sky. Half of them, not half, but a reasonable portion of them aren't even visible to the naked eye. We can't see Uranus and Neptune unless you are incredibly gifted and live in the absolute middle of nowhere. You're not seeing Uranus, and none of us are seeing Neptune with our naked eye. Here we have 5 planets visible to the naked eye. Even if Mercury and Saturn are a little bit tough to spot, this is the peak. This is all 5 of the naked eye visible planets visible at the same time. If you do not have all 5 of the naked eye visible planets, it's not really at its peak, is it? This looks great, but Saturn and Venus get next to each other at least once a year because of the way Saturn moves across our sky at roughly the same speed of the stars due to its slow orbit around the sun. You can see this anytime. It looks great, and I hope you get to see it, and I hope you get to see it again. But all of the newspapers and publications saying that that is the peak of the parade of planets, when this is yet to come, it's disheartening. Here we are on Mercury, looking out into space. Now, of course, a day on Mercury is a little bit strange. Here we go. There's the Earth. And we will want to get to a position where the Earth is visible during the night on Mercury, Mercury's nighttime side. So let's see if I can get this to work. I may need to travel across the surface of Mercury to get this to work. So I want the Earth and the Sun to be pretty much on opposite sides. Let's see if we can get through here to do that. I want the Sun to be pretty much behind us, and we will change where we are on Mercury. This should be pretty close to the opposite side. There we go, nighttime. Let's turn around. There is the Earth. Wonderful. So this is the Earth at opposition, pretty much. This is the Earth on the opposite side of Mercury to the Sun. Now, unfortunately, if we move through time like this, day by day, the sky, the stars in the background will appear to stay in the same place. There we go. There we are, actually following the Earth across the sky. So because a day on Mercury lasts so long, we don't get to see the planets moving through opposition in the way that we'd expect. We can't simply go out one night after another because the planets won't have moved just a little bit in that space of time. They will have jumped to the complete opposite side of the sky because Mercury's day is so long. It only gets through a couple of days per year. So trying to observe the Earth is a little bit difficult. Well, let's see here. So we're seeing Earth there at 99.8% illuminated. Let's see if we can get that up to 100% illuminated. There we go. It's going with a Mercurian day. So I'm jumping a full Mercurian day each time here. And we can see that over the course of a Mercurian day, the Earth can go almost, it will appear like the Earth has traveled quite far across the sky. And that's just because the days on Mercury are so long. Yeah, we'll have to go through quite a number of days before it will appear to stand in the right place. Watching the Earth here, we can see it appearing to move in the normal direction. Mercury just about catching up to it. There we go. There is Earth doing that same back to front little weird loop that Mars does from the perspective of Mercury. Now, it would be very difficult to observe this, and I turned off the ground. I don't know if this would be easily observable with the terrain of Mercury in the way, simply because of how long this could take. But let's go back. We'll see it doing that slow down, turn the other way, turn back the other way. Okay, so from here we're going to move forward with the ground in place and see it's under the ground there, so that doesn't look great. But let's see what happens. We'll move forward. Hope this is forward. It may be forward with the Earth doing its weird back to front motion under the ground. Yeah, so this would be visible from a different location on Mercury. Here on Earth, because we turn around so fast compared to our year, everywhere on Earth gets to see Mars go through its retrograde motion. Because Mars goes through its retrograde motion on the scale of, several days, similar to the Earth here. We're going through time pretty quickly here to see this weird back to front looping happening. But because Mercury is turning so slowly, even though we're going through several Earth days at a time here to watch this happen, we're only going through a couple of Mercurian days. So that means if you wanted to see Earth do this strange side-to-side looping motion that Mars does, you'd have to move around Mercury to keep the Earth. You'd have to move around Mercury to keep the Earth in the right position for it to be visible. So I can see that I have spent perhaps too much time giving out about the parade of planets and how inaccurately it's being described by lots of people. But if I can find V here, unless... There we go. Off of my screen. But here we are on Venus. Now, Venus also has an incredibly long day, but let's see where Earth is. There we go. So let's bring the sun down. Yep, I guess I'm in Venus's southern hemisphere by just a little bit. There we go. So jumping through days here will have a very similar effect to what we saw on Mercury. So instead, I will do what we did on Mercury. We'll get rid of all of these details and we'll move through time like this. Now, Venus also has a very interesting day length compared to its year length. So for that reason, we may not be able to see Earth doing its weird retrograde back to front from any location on Venus, but we can see the way it's moving against the stars just there, doing that weird little loop. Let's play it forwards. We were moving backwards, so let's play it forwards again. It comes up. We can see it moving around those stars there, coming back almost in the direction of Saturn and then moving forward again. And that is Venus catching up to the Earth, drawing level with it, and then moving past it as Earth appears to move backwards in the sky before eventually Earth's apparent motion causes it to end up behind the Sun from Venus's perspective. It must be. Earth can never come between Venus and the Sun because it is further from the Sun than we are. So we can see that continued motion. The Sun's kind of catching up to the Earth here as Venus moves. Of course, we're looking at this all from the southern hemisphere. There's Mercury doing a very, very similar behavior as to what we'd see on Earth, looping back to front there. And there's Earth on the opposite side of the Sun from Venus, the very opposite of opposition. So I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the Earth doing the exact same thing that Mars does. All that matters is our location. Of course, it is a bit more difficult to observe from the inner planets, not because they are inner planets, but because both of them have such weird days and rotations. Of course, Venus's rotation is itself a retrograde rotation rather than retrograde motion through the sky. I hope you also I hope you concur with my point regarding the parade of planets. Maybe you don't. Feel free to leave your own opinion in the comments below. Do like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to see more. And you can check out my website, queevinscontent.ie, if you'd like to read some of this information as well. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.